We have data.
We have data.
We have data. Okay. So, how are you? Do you have a good weekend?
I did have a good weekend.
Yeah.
It really went fast. Like, I think it should only snow during the week.
Yes, because why waste good snow on days off? I mean, that's bullshit.
Well,
I want to talk to the manager. First bullshit of the day. Oh, that was the second one. All right. So we wanted to do a market update. Yes.
yes.
All right. So would you believe me if I told you that values are up, median prices up?
Yes.
Would you believe me if I told you time on market is down for listings?
Yes.
Houses sell faster.
Yes.
Would you believe me if I told you that overall real estate agents are probably making fewer sales?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So in the past 6 months, we look back 180 days. There were 3,566 single-family homes sold in Westchester County and 670 sold in Putnam County. They have nothing to compare that to, right?
Right.
Last year at this time, 4,503 for Westchester for the same time period sold. So you have 4,503 last year, 3,566 this year. That's 1,000 fewer homes in Westchester County. Putnam last year at this time 862 compared to this year 670. Fewer sales. Now prices are up. The median price in Westchester County was $765 in 2020-21, $770 now. Putnam shot up. Putnam went from 395,000 to 464,000. Think about this. Putnam County median price the last 6 months has been $464,000. You used to be able to go to Putnam and probably find halfway decent starter home for under $300,000. You could. All right. These are the last 2 quarters, I guess. Q1 is January through March, you know.
Oh.
Q3, 4, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So for what we're looking at is from July through January. It's an arbitrary 6 months. We're not.
Why aren't we just looking at January? I thought we were just going to look at January. This is a monthly market update.
Oh, you want to do a monthly market update? Well, I can do that, but I'm going to have to,
I sent
you
the
22
email
days?
and said this is the topic.
22 days?
It's
want to do 22 days? I can do this real quick. It's easy.
It's
Watch.
not 22 days. It is an entire month. Today is the 31st. What do you think?
Yes, it is.
January 22nd?
You said January 22nd for some reason. I'm like, why January 22nd? All right, watch this. Sold.
January 22. It is
0 to 30. Oh, January 2022.
Go ahead. Let's put some pressure on you and do it.
Watch this.
Numbers
Just
that
watch
we're
this.
talking about.
In the last 30 days in Westchester County, there have been 431 single-family homes sold.
Okay.
All right.
Compared to January last year.
1/1/2021 to 1/30/2021, 559.
Okay, so that's down.
So it's down 128 houses for the month. 128. Okay. If we look at Putnam County, you're going to see the same thing.
So which is like 30%, right?
It's pretty significant. So 128 divided by, let's do some quick math. 128 divided by 431 is 30%. You nailed it. Take the rest of the day off. 146 sales in Putnam County. All right. And if we look at the same time period last year, 74. Now, this is interesting. Putnam, well, we didn't do this year for Putnam County. That's why. Or did we? Putnam County, the first 30 days of 2020, 74 sales. The first 30 days of this year, 146. So guess what? Putnam is up and Westchester is way down. Putnam doubled. Now that's odd. That's a tale of two counties right there. Putnam County, January of 2020, sold 74 single-family homes, closed. This year, 146 closed.
So wait, you're saying Putnam's up?
Putnam doubled. Westchester's down 30%. Putnam doubled.
Wow.
I'll give you 3 guesses. Why did Putnam go up and Westchester went down?
Because we're much cooler here in Putnam and everyone wants to be.
Because you're so cool because you live closer to Jen Mar?
Yeah. It's Jen Mar country.
What about the old joke that Putnam is next Chester? What about the old joke that if you're priced and taxed out of Westchester, Putnam is your next option?
That hasn't really been the case for a long time, but because the taxes used to be a lot lower in Putnam, which is no longer the case.
Yeah, but look at these median prices though. If you work hard and you get yourself pre-approved for $500,000, what are you going to find in Westchester?
Not much.
You're going to find something that is like 18, 20%. There's nothing priced below the median that far in Westchester County that does not need a ton of work. So the average house in Putnam selling in the mid 400s, right, is something that used to exist in Westchester County. You used to be able to buy in Westchester County a nice raised ranch, a Cape Cod, a really nice ranch with a finished basement, mid 4s, nice house, quarter acre, half an acre, depending on where you were, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't exist now. It doesn't exist. One of our agents said to me that he had there's a lot of back and forth in the contract negotiations, and the home inspection yielded a lot of problems, and they wanted to lower their price to $580. Okay. And we had this whole conversation, and I looked at the list price. It was $549. So for a $549,000 house, it sold. The accepted offer was over $600,000. And even if the seller did accept a lower sales price, it would still be $30,000 higher than the list price.
Yeah.
We are in bizarro times. We're in bizarro times. But overall, if you're an agent like our friend Trudy, if like many of our agents, if you're an agent that works both counties, all right, there's so much competition in Westchester County that you're not making as many sales.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I know the public is perceiving that agents are just making money hand over fist.
Yeah.
And there are some, like we have 3 agents who really killed it this year, did a lot more volume over last year. But then we have a bunch of agents that are down,
What do those 3 agents have in common?
They have accountability goals and they bust their butts every single day.
Well, I think all the agents who are in production over a certain level, but what I would say is they're heavy on the listing side. In other words, they take a lot of listings. They don't just
they work a lot, and they work a lot in Putnam.
Yeah, all 3 of them do a fair amount of work in Putnam, but the second 2 quarters, say, I'm generalizing just a bit, second 2 quarters of the last 2 years, less than 3,000 homes were listed active in Westchester County, Q3 and 4. Last year at this time, 4,228. In Putnam County, 606 listings went active over the last 6 months. The prior time period, 866. There's just less for people to buy. And we can talk about why there's low inventory and everything like that. But this is the result of low inventory. It's very much a supply and demand thing. The supply is lower, prices go up, right? Demand is higher, lower supply, prices go bananas. So Putnam County is benefiting in two ways, simply because it's right next to a much more expensive option, and it is the best plan B. If you would like to live in, well, let's take my late uncle who bought in Brewster in the 60s. Okay. He was able to buy an acre. He had a small pond on his property. He actually had a couple of acres on Turk Hill Road in Brewster. He had a beautiful colonial, right? And I remember going there as a kid, and it was great because he had one of these U-shaped driveways where you entered one part of the frontage and you exited the other part of the frontage. And we would get there, and there's all these dogs, and there was a swimming pool, and there was the house up the hill and everything like that. My father had a 3-bedroom ranch. When I came along, we put they raised the roof because, Catholics keep having babies, right?
Just knew how loud you were.
Because he knew, I would need to go upstairs. Well, actually, when my brothers all went away, when they went to college and Peace Corps and everything like that, I had a 3-bedroom suite upstairs, and it was awesome. It was the best. But the thing is here, the Putnam benefits from being the best option compared to Westchester if somebody needs to be, for example, on the Harlem line, if somebody needs to be on the Hudson line, or if they need to take the Taconic to work.
Well, just interesting. I was listening to, I don't know, I think CBS Radio over the weekend. I've been following the new mayor, Eric, I can't think of his last name, of New York City.
Yep.
And he's on a mission to make NYPD and FDNY have to live in the city.
Well, that's going to be an interesting thing because they can live up to 2 counties away.
They have to go through the state to do it. So it's not something that's going to happen automatically or quickly or, anything like that. But definitely,
it's probably going to be for new. You can't tell a guy who's been living for 25 years.
I wouldn't think so.
Right?
Wouldn't think so.
If you're new to the force, you're living in Queens. You're living in Staten Island. You're going to live in the boroughs. You're not going to have this 3-hour round trip like a lot of these guys do. But the median prices, especially in Putnam County, has shot up. It's a much smaller sample, Jen. I mean, we're talking about hundreds versus thousands.
Right. So it's easier to have that kind of growth. Interesting though.
Yeah. It's hundreds versus thousands. The prices, it's a little crazy because I missed a month in there, and the median price in Westchester compared to last year actually went up $15,000. So we saw, I miscalculated, and I actually had year over year 750 to 770. Then I went back an extra month in it, and the median price shot up because the spring market was more active. It was more indicative of the normal cyclical nature of the market. Okay. But it's when people say to me, well, you must be lighting cigars with dollar bills. People don't say that to me, but you're doing well. You must be doing great. No. If you represent buyers, you are working harder for less money right now because you're making fewer sales. There are more bidding wars, fewer buyers are getting their bids accepted on much, much fewer listings. Inventory is way down. So, Putnam is benefiting from that. Westchester will always be Westchester, but we need to shake off this inventory crisis that we're in. And I frankly, I do term it as an inventory crisis. If you are a seller right now, I'm going to use Jen Marr's axiom. The best thing you can do to sell your house right now is to list it.
Yeah.
Is to list it on the market. Because I can show you in the elementary school footprint of your market, wherever you are, you can be in North Salem, you can be in Pelham. Okay. Wherever you are, you have so little competition that you could be walking around the house in your shorts, letting buyers in, and they're probably gonna just, hi, how you doing? We'll be in here.
Get out of my
Like,
way.
they are, because they're so thirsty to find something. There
Yeah.
is just nothing out there. And we're hopeful that inventory will start to improve. Something's got to give. Rates will start to rise, maybe, but I don't think rising rates are going to affect the market the way some people say they will.
Well, I would love to also see more new development and have municipalities sort of understand the urgency in housing. And yeah, affordable housing too. No, I didn't say low income housing. I didn't say Section 8. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but people don't really understand the difference between affordable housing. Affordable housing means, my daughters are of age to not live at home. One's married with a baby, but she's only 26 years old. The other one's 18. The prospects of them living here in this county, I mean, my older daughter's doing it, but it's a real struggle. It's a
No,
real,
they're not. You're not living in Westchester at age 26
and I don't
as
think
a
you can live in
homeowner.
Putnam anymore either.
No,
It's
no.
just, so yeah.
So if you're a baby boomer, if you're 75 years old and you were 26 in 1975, you bought a house pretty much anywhere in Westchester County. You bought a lot of house in Putnam County, and it was pretty much affordable. It was pretty much within your budgetary reach. Not anymore. If you're 26 now, and this really happened, it started with our generation. It started with Gen X. When I look at the number of people who have moved, for example, it's just a scattering. A lot of them have moved down south. A lot of them have moved up to Orange County. A lot of them have moved up to Dutchess County because that's where the affordable housing was. But there's just so little inventory and so much competition that Westchester County is like this log-jammed, expensive place where if you are going to live here, you're going to have very little to choose from, and you're going to pay through the nose for it. And that's that. That's it. Now, if you don't need to commute to the city in this weird economy that we have, if you can do what I'm doing right now in my basement, then you can live in the Dominican Republic. You can live in Sullivan County on a lake.
You heard
live,
me say it.
right? You can live wherever you want.
Live wherever you want. But we have to wrap up. Number one, because we have to wrap up. But number two, we also have a meeting in 1 minute.
All right. We have a meeting. Okay.
With Ms. Gamero.
I look forward to meeting with Ms. Gamero, who
Training channel. Go to the training channel.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure that people are really glad to know that. We're going to be on the train channel. But prices are up. Time on market is down. Inventory is down so much that it created a funny domino effect from Westchester's volume suffering to Putnam getting 70 extra deals. Interestingly enough, though, even though Westchester's down over 1,000, there wasn't 1,000 people that went to Putnam. There was only about 70. That's it. It's only about 70 because they want to live in Westchester, or they need to live in
maybe
Westchester.
because there wasn't enough inventory for the 1,000 people.
Well, that's entirely possible too, because Putnam's a small county. All right, so we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
That is your market update.
And my wrap up is sellers take advantage of the low inventory.
List your house. Don't wait for the flowers to come out. You don't need to. Look, if yes, staging, Marie Graham, get her in there. Hurry up, do it, tidy up. But don't wait till March. Don't wait till April, June. It is now.
I'm ending.
Okay.